Minister of State for Youth and Children, Honorable Nakiwala Kiyingi, joins us tonight. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Honorable, we want to start with the point of understanding, the burden the President is always highlighting of unemployment, especially amongst the youth.
Yeah, sure. In Kampala alone, that is in the context of Kampala, where we've been today, we have 720,000 young people below the age of 30, but above the age of 18 in Kampala alone. So when you take the average rate of unemployment, which is around 41% in urban areas, and as low as 19% in the far-to-rich areas, you find that 40% of the 700,000 are completely jobless. They do not have a survival, they don't know where to begin from the following day, and probably they're earning but peanut. So 40% of 700 gives you around 300,000 people, 200 something. So today, in just 2 days, this is the epitome of what has been happening many years ago when His Excellency the President goes down himself, because he's a leader, he was voted in, he has to give an accountability of his actions, he as a person. So he, through State House, mobilized us and would cabinet, actually convinced cabinet of his plans to continue ensuring that he reaches out to the people who are, first of all, those who are parentless, those who are on their own in Kampala, and saying, I'm now in Kampala on the street. What next? What should I do? So he zeroed all those up, and himself, he moves out, he drives sometimes alone, and then moves around Kampala. People do not know that. So he finds people who are welders, carpenters, and he watches what is going on around town, and then he notes down. So when he goes, he tells his office, Nachovi and the rest, that please reach out to these people, then ask them, find out, do benchmarking, find out what exactly do they need. So out of that cry, you come up with all these street people who are day in, day out, stopping him as he's passing by. So just these 2 days, to take you back, because it's been happening all over, it's not new. So to do this, he got on board over 7 billion shillings, and he imported equipments, particularly in line with the welding and carpentry from China, the very good machinery. And then at the beginning of this year, we got them down here, and then we today, the past 2 days, we were trucking all over, and we moved to Lubaga, Bwaise, Kawempe, Nakawa here. So we ended up giving out to so many people. Actually, estimated total of 50,000 people will be directly and indirectly benefiting from the supply of equipment.
All right,
So I thank him, and I thank all the people who have been on the streets. This is unbelievable. What I've had these 2 days is unimaginable from what people have been saying, really.
Yeah, of course, it is, indeed a good sign. But of course, these questions, the presence of your job, some people would want to think that why is the president doing this himself?
No,
yet he has people.
And he has a job.
Yeah.
He has a job, and he's paid to do work as well. So, and he was voted in, okay? So that is the mistake people make. If my husband does something, and then I say, but I'm the wife, why didn't I, put up that hunger? Far from that, because you have seen me work, and you haven't asked me that how about my youth council, why are they not working? I'm here, and you're here, and your wife is sleeping, but she's probably doing something, she's sleeping because of something. So this, I want people to know this, that the president, out of his own wisdom, has a budget, can spend, can donate, and there's nothing illegal, because if he's given money in the budget to go and spend, then he cannot say Nakiwala Kiyingi will spend on my own, because he also gives me money through youth livelihood to spend.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, when you look at the circles that he's been supporting for most of the time, they are about 70% males. And of course, to counterbalance this, he started up this other project where they train girls, and he's given them, startup capital for those who graduate of up to 1 million. One would want to think that in this economy, what would 1 million really help as a startup?
To you, if you have it. But for those who don't have it, first of all, believe me, that those people have been trained on how to use the 1 million. Because it is not money that does business. It is the mindset change. These people are being given equipment. they are given sewing machines, they are given dryers, they are given. So this money is probably to make you, rent out something, and probably make sure that you have the power, the car running, the overheads, that is. Because in fact, you're taught how to make sure that you're an entrepreneur yourself. Nobody should come up to say, I'm giving you 100% of what you need. That is an error. So it is simply to add on to what you have, and you track them, go on tracing them. All those people are ready for the industry.
If you talk about tracking, I'll cut you short there. It also brings me to another point relatedly, because he's given money to, very many circles. And of course, this has been ongoing. But if you take a look at, even groups like the Border 2010, which is currently disbanded, and it received about 500 million shillings, and this group is disbanded, where is that money? And who tracks this money that he gives to the circles? Because after some time, we always hear fights. The carpenters around in Zambia, they have fights, fights. They say we don't see the money. Who is doing the tracking? It's very good
that you have talked about. Have you got money from him before?
No, not yet.
Oh yeah, I thought you were talking from experience. So for me, I have. You're talking to someone who is day in, day out on ground. I've gone to Zambia. I can mention to you 70 names of people in Zambia. This is what is happening in Zambia Carpentry Home, that they are to date earning over 270,000 daily and in savings. That is net profit. They are training 60 youth free of charge. They come and train and go. They lowered their prices. They increased the market. They have 4 tenders that are running. I've been there. I've taken Honorable Matia Kasaija, and he has also donated to them. So it is easier said, because that is the mode generally. That is the mode, that you just find yourself talking and making utterances. But if we could get a mindset change of being appreciative, that is number one that will take us into the middle income status. I've been there. I know Zambia in and out. And I can tell you now that they have one of the busiest circles that can develop into Wazalendo and all those groups. So for those who are talking about Zambia, it's not true, because I've been there.
Thank you very much. We have just a few seconds. I want you to tell us, this is a countrywide project. When are the other, parts of the country receiving some of this aid?
Yeah, it's in pipeline, because Cabinet passed funds for the young people. Yeah. So we are trying to track, first of all, number one is discipline. That is why people say, we have not been given. We track discipline, because to do business, you must be disciplined, because your customers must believe in you. So we are busy on ground. So you lower down, cut down the temperature, and approach it. So the president keeps moving, we move, and we inform him. So some of them were brought in to pray by the group that we are leading. So make sure that while you're there as a youth, we want you to, first of all, calm down. Tame yourself and get ready. Open your heart and make sure that now you're ready to do business. The president is set, and in about 8 months, you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised on how many numbers.
All right. Thank you very much, Honorable. We will wait for the surprise after 8 months, and we will call you back to tell us what that surprise will be. That's Minister of State for Youth and Children, Honorable Nakiwala Kiyingi, telling us about, the problem of unemployment and how it's getting solved. That was Newsnight. Let's take a short break, and we'll return with